I think I have to do it.
Oh, I send request. I just wanted to record to my device.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're now recording.
Quorum, right? It's five of us.
Yep. Yep.
So let's call this August Board of Directors meeting for the Muncie Land Bank to order. And we'll welcome everyone. They sent out our staff had sent out the consent agenda concerning the financial report and minutes from last meeting. As long as everyone's had a chance to review it or take a chance right now, I would entertain motions to either amend them or approve the consent agenda as presented.
Move to approve.
Second.
Second, all in favor, I'll do roll call. Rebecca,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Melanie,
Yes.
and I. That's unanimous. So great. Going on to voting items. We got a couple different types of acquisitions that are coming, recommendations that are coming out of the acquisition disposition committee. Two of them for item A, I think are pretty straightforward. And then we have some contingencies that are under the properties for item B. I'll let Joe or Nate kind of walk us through some of the quick details for each of these items.
Okay, sure. So 1401 South Franklin on item A is a structure right over by Muncie Mission. And that is being donated to us. It has like $1,500 in unpaid taxes, and that's the only cost associated with it. And the house is pretty much gutted. I don't know if there's pictures. I know there were pictures in the AD folder. I don't know if there's pictures in the board folder. The house is pretty much gutted. The roof is good. The foundation's good. And then 214 East 21st Street is a vacant lot down over on the south side of the Jefferson Mulberry area. And this is a lot that has a whole bunch of judgments on it. But they've been on it for about 8 years at this point. So I think the suggestion from the board was to acquire it and then hold it for 2 years and let the judgments just fall off because they fall off after 10 years. Um, and then do we want to just stay on item A and just vote on that and then go to B, or do you want me to do both?
Does anyone have any questions about vote item A? As long as there's no questions, I'll let you go ahead and describe item B as well. I think we're good. Go ahead.
Cool, cool. So item B, 509 West Adams is a structure in the Old West End that has a lot of judgments and tax warrants on it. But it seems like we can get the tax warrants taken off, which is the bulk of it. So the condition for the acquisition of this property is to try to get those tax warrants off. I was in contact with the Indiana Department of Revenue. They seemed very um, kind of excited about the idea of working with us. So um, that would be the big thing on that property. 923 South Pershing is the same thing. It has $32,000 of state tax warrants on it. And the owner was trying to sell it for 7,500. So the condition on this was to try to negotiate that down to a donation or substantially less than 7,500, and to only acquire it if the Indiana Department of Revenue is willing to knock those off for us. So, and then 2104 South High, the owner. That's a property right over by the elementary school and the library over by Jefferson Mulberry area. The owner is trying to get out from under their mortgage. It's a $13,000 sell is what they're trying to do. So the condition on that, I believe, was if Harp wanted it. I went out there with a net, and she didn't think it would work for Harp just because it's a 2 unit structure. but she gave me some local landlords contacts info and everything. So I'm trying to figure out a creative way. I'm just kind of working with the owner and trying to, see if there's any way we get this house back into productive use. So yeah, that's
Just
B.
I went ahead and added sorry, I didn't have that in all the inputs about each one of these houses. If anybody's curious, but we went through this with the A&D committee. So yeah, we're working on those things and they've been recommended. These were the recommendations from the A&D committee.
Okay, so let's do them individually. I mean by items A and B, because I think well, B might be a little different. I think A is pretty straightforward, but I do want to bring to attention the board. Everyone who's been on here for a minute may have remembered our couple of 2020 properties that we received that had state tax warrants that were quite hefty, and we ended up paying those. So the work that our staff has done this time around in working with the state is a big lift off of us when it comes to the liability, financial liability of taking on these kind of properties. So I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention.
Yeah, that's been Joe just being curious and investigating things. So taking initiative. So yeah, that could be a great thing for us.
Yeah. I think that's a really good relationship to pursue. So I would like to do this in different, mainly because it sounds like 2104's condition was based on a net assessment, and that did not go well. That one I'm kind of more open for discussion for moving forward. I mean, we can discuss any of them if you have any questions for us. Does anyone have any questions on any other properties? I'm sorry, Nate.
Just one thing about 2104. It was HARP, or again, if we could negotiate the price down significantly. And we talked about
That's right.
a short sell.
Yep.
Negotiating the mortgage, I think, with. So anyway, we're still not sure exactly who holds the mortgage, if there's a mortgage, or it's something else that the
because it
owners.
didn't show up on the title search, did it?
Yeah.
That's right. I remember that now. Okay, no, I'm cool with that. I forgot the secondary condition, the short sale. I forgot about the short sale. Yeah. Are there any questions from anyone else then? I mean, I'd rather still take these on by items A and B. That way the conditions for the groupings,
Yeah.
So, I mean, if there's no other questions or kind of comments or concerns, I would entertain a motion to approve the acquisition of properties under 4A, which is 1401 South Franklin and 214 East 21st.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor, we'll do roll call. Rebecca,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Melanie,
Yes.
and I. That's unanimous. So that's first two properties there. The second one, I would entertain a motion to approve them with the conditions that were laid out for the properties under 4B, which are 509 West Adams, 923 South Pershing, and 2104 South High.
I'll make that motion again, Brad.
Thank you, Melanie.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, we'll do roll call again. Rebecca,
Abstain.
Jason,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Melanie,
Yes.
and I make aye. That is 4 ayes and 1 abstention. Motion passes. That is all the items for voting. Next items for general discussion is pretty much our committee updates that we go through every month. And then we're going to start off with our executive committee. Nate sent out last month with the conflict of interest and ethics forum statement. So just make sure that you did sign it and send it back to Nate, please. And then we will be engaging in talks with the state legislature. Let me find my notes here. Sorry. It looks like the representative Tim O'Brien from Evansville and the representative from South Bend, Maureen Bauer, are wanting to produce some change or amend the state legislation when it comes to land banking. So there's things if you all remember, we did this in an affinity group with Sue last session, and it fell in the committee, flat in the committee. And this year, the idea is that some items in that piece were wanted and liked, and some of those pieces were not so much liked. And so, and that these representatives both would like to be in on the, you know, the ground floor of creating or crafting said legislation. So with that in mind, we're still a part of, you know, the Muncie Land Bank is still a part of the affinity group for land banking in the state. And we will be participating to see what we can do to make that legislation more beneficial for our two biggest goals have always been property pipeline and money. So we'll be looking to figure out either a unique funding technique and getting someone on board, or a unique property pipeline acquisition method. And I say that through like the tax sale mainly, right? State legislation holds the key to that. I think that wraps up the executive committee update. Nate, do you have anything to add to that?
No, just with regards to land banking legislation, one of the kind of strategies going forward is to start engaging folks at the kind of real grassroots level of the development of any kind of bill that might be presented. And so there are folks, as Brad mentioned, Tom O'Brien, I think it is, from Tom O'Brien from Evansville, and Maureen Bauer, I think, from South Bend. But we're also trying to get our local folks, representatives involved in that conversation. And actually next Thursday, Annette and myself are meeting with Rep Alexander and Rep Robre to start trying to, you know, get input on what kind of legislation would they support, what are the things that are red flags for them, what are the things that are important to them. So just gonna be something that we're engaged in, and because we're one of the few land banks and been one of the most active in this kind of conversation, we'll probably play a important role in kind of creating that legislation, at least informing it.
I think he's a state senator.
Yes, Senator. Yeah. Excuse me.
So we could get like support in both chambers for something if we can find a way to craft something that's beneficial or, moves us forward. Well, great. Thanks. Our next items are acquisition disposition committee. Really, we just got an update for property 2123 South Jefferson. Nate and or Joe, you guys, one of you can swing at this one.
Yeah, just real quick. This is a house that we've just recently purchased. Just outright purchased for $4,500 plus legal fees. We're also going to have to pay for some cleanup and some minor repairs, but it's a house that, it's got a lot of potential. But yeah, we're working on that, but we're excited about it because it does seem to be a pretty good house at a pretty good price. And we think that we'll be able to make a little money off of it and hopefully find somebody that wants to restore it and live in it.
Got a little historic charm to it and character.
Yes, it does. Some beautiful woodwork inside.
And Eco Rehab. And was it Ryan Kramer? I think Eco Rehab just did a project a block away at the most.
Yes.
Did Ryan Kramer rehab the house right next to that project? And Rebecca, do you know?
So he's owned that house for a really long time. I think it was like the first house he lived in or something.
Yeah.
So he did. He was able to use some of the same contractors, like to fix the retaining wall and stuff. So he did like work in conjunction with them, which is a benefit of something like Eco Rehab. It inspires the people around them to make their place better too.
Right. That's good stuff. So there's actually two houses are right next to each other. And if I remember right, they're nigh like the same layout of the house. Like it's a basic 1900s kind of Princess Anne looking, no thrills kind of thing. Right, Rebecca? Those are both houses I'm thinking of, right? That's not bad.
Yeah, they look the same. I think he said they were built by the gas company or something. I don't know, but like somebody built them together for whatever reason. So they're the same house, and they look the way that when you go down Madison, you can actually look and see them because it's like through a parking lot or something. And I think it looks pretty cool. So
yeah, they're right behind Taco Bell on Madison. Yeah. And the house here on Jefferson has a very similar layout to those as well. So, yeah, thanks for the update. Sorry,
Mhm.
went off on a little tangent there. Next one's our programs committee, and we have, have this. I think it's just a great program this first Friday, and Nate's done a fantastic job of launching this and propelling it and getting good speakers here. I'm going to let him take over what happened at our last one, August 4th, and what we can expect in our September first Friday.
Yeah, we had Elise Phillips from First Merchants Bank. She's their senior compliance manager. She talked about appraisal discrimination. Really, really great, like very professional presentation. Had some good dialogue ensuing. And so I wanted to say, so our September 1st meeting, I reached out to 3 people, and all 3 have said they'd love to share, but they can't this September 1st. So we're kind of behind the ball there. And I wanted to real quick, if anybody has any suggestions, that can be here now or after in an email or text or something, but any ideas, please let me know. We're trying to get out in front of it. I
You
don't
know-
like, I'm always kind of scrambling a little bit. And I know there's so many people that have, it's just a matter of connecting with them. And so if anybody has any suggestions for this upcoming meeting, please let me
Oh, I
know.
don't know about this upcoming one, but did you put that I always butcher the name Biriotti on that
Um,
list?
Yes,
About
he was one of the
planning,
guys that I talked to
yeah.
and about this, and he said he's available next spring. So,
I think that's gonna be a really interesting one.
yeah,
Really interesting.
yeah, and he was really excited about it. He said he follows us and
Oh,
love to.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't have anything for this. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Anybody does, please email me. Shot in the dark. Send me names if you will.
And then we have an update for our internship, our Intend partnership over that long. Sorry.
Real quick, yeah. I think everybody's aware now. We're partnering with Intend out of Indianapolis, and their hope is to do some a medium scale development project, mostly housing development next year. Seeking funds from the U.S. Treasury to fund that through their CDFI, talking about building 15 to 20 homes, doing some small business lending, and creating some green space as part of like a block by block intervention. Just want to let everybody know. So part of that is, were you going to say something, Brad?
No.
Okay, is myself and Jeb Reese, who's the land bank manager at Intend, we're co-teaching neighborhood studio class this semester through the urban planning department, and we're going to use the students to basically gather all the very practical information that we need to be able to do something like this next year, and also like satisfy the proposal requirements, or that the Intend would be submitting to the U.S. Treasury for funding. And so we're going to be working in the Old West End this semester. We'd love to do more, but we only have 6 students, and we have to be kind of realistic and thinking what the students can do. We're not going to create a new plan. We're actually going to use the old plan that was done in 2018 and then try to fill in the gaps. And we're going to be really focused on, more than anything, getting all the information that we need to actually come up with a strategy for acquisition for site control. And so we're going to get all the information about ownership, tenure, who's delinquent on taxes, like a real practical strategy of like, this is who you need to contact. And this is how you're going to need to do it. This is how much money you're going to need if you're going to acquire 20 parcels in a specific area. So that's going to take up a fair bit of my time the next 3 or 4 months. It's a class that meets Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 to 5. So I'm going to be contacting a lot of you guys for some support and maybe speaking in the class at different times. All of you, I think, are in my syllabus. So anyways, just an update.
Thanks, Nate. That's awesome. And
Yeah.
with the Intend partnership and the potential 20 units, we've had Joe working on clusters. And so we are being very intentful and very intentful about our acquisitions, about what we're looking for when we move forward with these partnerships. The next one's our data committee. And speaking of Joe, he's going to fill us in on some of our data collection efforts.
Sure. So the past few weeks, I feel like I've been doing more on-site work, so less GIS and spreadsheet work. But so we are currently planning a day out with the 812 Coalition to do some commercial corridor surveys. So we're going to be surveying Hoyt, Madison, Memorial, and Walnut, just the commercial corridors. And we're going to be using Scout Muncie metrics to do that. So just I looked at the old Scout Muncie questions and basically took those, added maybe a couple new things about sidewalks, and so we'll be using that to survey it so that when we do inevitably go to update Scout Muncie, this will be already done. So that's kind of the big thing going forward. If anyone wants to come out and do it with us, let me know, and I'll send you the doodle poll. But that's kind of our main data collection thing we're going to be doing over the next month.
Yes, send me the doodle poll if there are some times during the weekend or later during the week I could join in.
Sure. Yeah, I can just send it out to the whole board, and then
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
The other thing to add is that we are talking about doing another Scout Muncie type event, and have a meeting set up later this month with our data committee and a couple other people to talk about that. That feeds into another point at point 10 I'll talk about in a second. But so yeah, we might be doing that hopefully before the end of the year or early next year. Scout Muncie 2.0. Need to find funding and plan it out, obviously, but
well, thank you. But do you have anything else about the data
No.
collection? Either one. All right, good. Thank you for the update. That's fantastic. I'm really excited about seeing Scout Muncie used and updated. It's probably 6 years since we've updated it. Like as a general, there might be individual parcels that people update once in a while because anyone can do it, of course. But I think for the lion's share of it, it's really 6 years old. Thanks. Nate, do you have anything for our fundraising development committee update?
not just that we had a meeting yesterday with the committee. The lady that's now working for us, doing some fundraising work, she works for Schaefer Grant and Project Management. She's still getting her feet wet, has identified a couple small opportunities. We continue to depend a lot on Ball Brothers Foundation and Community Foundation. They continue to support us. Those are our big grants again this year. This is where I feel like we haven't really hit the bullseye, or we haven't really hit even the target yet. Like this, a lot of work needs to be done here. We're still kind of drawing off a lot of the funding that we've gotten in the past. This is just an area that we need to improve on. There's an opportunity with this new Ready grant. I'm participating in kind of the workshops where they're gathering information from different counties. That's one of the granting possibilities that we've identified that we need to really focus on. But anyways, this is kind of ongoing. But we're investing some funds and trying to get some help here. So things are moving, but just still kind of trudging through.
It can be quite an effort to go out and look for specifically grant funding. Well, it's a job on its own.
Yeah.
And I think in the past we've really like kind of thrown the noodles at the wall kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think we even applied for a Subaru Foundation grant.
Yeah.
I don't know if we got that. I can't remember. It was a couple of years ago, but I'm just as an example. Those are some of the things that we went after. So I can understand your concerns, but thank you for your efforts.
Yeah, thanks.
I know that, unless there's anything else, questions or comments about fundraising, I'm gonna move on to our public outreach. I know that, Heather couldn't make it with us today, so, and Jason or, Nate, do you have an update on our housing symposium?
Yeah, I can jump in here. Yeah, just to keep everybody in the loop, we're talking about with Chamber Commerce with DAC, maybe a 12 Coalition, Muncie Land Bank, talking about putting on a housing symposium. Kind of the projected date right now is April, early April. But the idea is to get, just talk about the state of housing in Muncie and strategies for addressing the issues. One of the big pieces that we hope to bring is kind of a land banking 101 kind of session with newly elected folks. We're actually talking about maybe bringing some folks from the Center for Community Progress to come and talk. We're going to have like a keynote speaker, breakout sessions, and kind of conclusions. Still a lot of planning to go into it, but we're hoping that Scout Muncie actually is kind of like the foundation to kind of understand what's actually happening. So Scout Muncie 2.0 would feed into that.
Are you suggesting that it would be nigh completed by the time we do the symposium?
No, yeah, hopefully it would be completed.
That'd be pretty cool.
And
Especially when you do like a presentation on its results, not to cut you off.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Presentation of the results, and then, okay, how do we deal with this?
Right.
And really emphasize land banking.
That sounds great.
But a lot of planning. But Heather and Tracy Lutton have been kind of the main movers and shakers there, and I've been included in the conversation. As we get closer, we might ask for more support from our board here in that planning process. We also need to find funding, all those kinds of things, but it's a neat idea.
Well, thank you for the update. Now we'll move on to our governance and government relations committee. Has there been any general update?
I just wanted to be, again, kind of transparent, like thinking about funding and property, obviously that's city government, that's county government. We need to ask for more money from the MRC. And I've kind of gone through the people that I know to like have that conversation. I'm hoping to get a meeting with the mayor here very soon. We've talked a couple times in passing, sent emails, but hopefully in the next week, I get to meet with him, and we have some more idea about is he going to support a resolution that we bring to the MRC, because we're going to have to do that, because our funding that we have is ending with them at the end of the year. And the county commissioners. Go ahead.
Are we just going to propose like a type of a continuation for it, or?
We would probably convene the committee and talk about that. We've had maybe a conversation with our executive committee about it too. I don't know what would be the best way to go about that, but some work needs to be done there to figure out what that actually looks like. And I was going to say with the county commissioners, we've had this ask out there since May. I've had a little bit of email communication with one of the paralegals there who's been really helpful, but it just no materialization either way. I have not gone to the commissioners meeting. I need to. I'm going to go this Monday because we've got a couple things happening right now. We've got this ask, and we also have 2 properties that were initially awarded to us last year that have been stuck in some final legal issues, and so we actually haven't got the deed, and we've got people that we've already approved being sold to that are just waiting. As I understand it, the commissioners are going to sign over those deeds on this Monday's meeting, but we've been hearing that for a while. And I know that, anyways, I need to go and I need to probably just start, yeah, knocking on the door a little bit more. Need to build that relationship, but it's been easier with the city, and partly it's just because I haven't been showing up, but yeah, that's an update.
Thank you. Thank you. Unless there's any other questions or concerns, we will have the privilege of the floor. Anything that wasn't on the agenda that you would like to discuss today, we could go over right now. I'm going to go with that's nothing. I mean, if no one has anything else, our next meeting is going to be just before my birthday on September 15th at 9 a.m. right here on Zoom. And hope to
When's
see
your
you
birthday,
all,
Brad?
the 17th.
Okay,
Yeah, Washington Street Festival is my birthday celebration.
nice.
All right.
With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Do I have a second? Anyone?
Second.
Anyone? Just things like I don't care. I'm gone.
Second.
I think I heard a second. So with that, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. We will see you in September.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everybody.
everyone.
Have a great day.
Have a good weekend.
See ya.
Bye.